I'm going to give you a bonus track today. I'm going to talk to you about morning rhythms and about championship thinking today.
Welcome to the Jeff Sutherland Show. Let's grow today as we learn from decades of real estate and leadership experience.
We want you to know that when you log into this show, you're going to get authentic conversation. We're going to give it to you straight, and it's going to be real.
If you're an agent out there, or for that matter, if you're anyone out there that would like to have a better, more productive life, I'm going to share with you some rhythms in the morning that can set you up to win big in your career. I read a book several years ago called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. I very much would recommend that to you. Hal Elrod was the author. A complete life-changing book. And it talked about different things you can do in the morning to set yourself up for success. So I want to talk to you on how I do it and how I've used that book, and I've adapted my ways a little bit on how I get my morning started, because I know if you win the morning, you win the day most of the time. So in Hal's book, he went over an acronym, and the acronym is SAVERS, SAVERS, SAVERS. So when you go through this acronym, when you get done with all of them, you set yourself for an amazing day. So the first one is SAVERS. S stands for silence. When is the last time you sat down and actually tried to block everything from coming into your mind and tried to just focus in on the moment and not let anything in? Because we're bombarded by thoughts all day, and many of them are, quite frankly, very negative. So it's our job to reprogram our head and put the things into our brain that we want to put in them. But during that first 5 minutes of the day, that is a time for solitude. It's a time for meditation. It could be prayer. It's all about getting those batteries charged up. For myself, it's being one with the Creator. Right? So it's my time with God. It's my conversation with God. So that is a time that's very important. Silence is something that's important because you really want your mind to be at rest and your heart at rest before you get started. It needs to be a joyful, calming, comforting place for 5 minutes and 5 minutes only. You'd be astounded on how hard it is to do that by not letting things come into your mind for 5 minutes. That's S. So when I get up at 4:45 in the morning, I will start off with silence, and then I'm going to go to the gym. But let's go to A. A for affirmations. That's another 5-minute exercise. That's where you're going to talk out loud about what you see happening for the day, what you believe about yourself. Okay, affirmations are a big deal. People that aren't in sales are like, man, that's just crazy. They're talking out loud. They're talking all kinds of weird stuff. When you talk about affirmations, you're rewiring your brain and you're rewiring your subconscious to basically elevate your thinking and have more confidence in yourself and have more belief in yourself and have more belief in humanity and put yourself in a better place. So I essentially spend 5 minutes a day doing that. So it looks different every day. It's whatever's coming to my heart. Many times I'll use the same phrases. Today, I'm going to love people. Today, I'm going to hug as many people as possible. I'm going to serve others that are clients of mine, and I'm going to serve people that aren't clients of mine. I'm going to avoid sugar. I'm going to drink a lot of water today. I'm going to put everything out on the field today. I'm going to love my wife deeper. I'm going to reach out to my kids today. I'm going to tell them I love them. I'm going to change somebody's life today. I'm going to find people that are unfortunate and find them out there and tell them that they're loved. These are the things that I say to myself, and I'll say them all the time out loud. Many times I'll walk into the backyard and I'll say these things. That way I'm saying them out loud. I'm declaring them to the universe so everybody can hear what I'm saying. And that becomes reality for me. It becomes a rewiring exercise where I'm rewiring all the negativity that we get in our world, because we get bombarded by negativity. And it's our job to rewire our minds so we're thinking about positive things and thinking about abundance versus scarcity thoughts. So the 5 minutes of silence, 5 minutes of affirmations. Now we're going to visualization, the V. 5 minutes of visualizing the day. Have you ever been an athlete? Athletes love to visualize their race or their event. Well, I was a baseball player. I played a lot of basketball. I grew up in Indiana. I was also a swimmer. I could visualize a curveball coming across the plate and hitting it over to right field. I could visualize a 100-yard backstroke from the start to the finish. I could visualize me winning a race. I could visualize me competing on every stroke, when I'm going to do the flip turn, how many strokes I have to the turn. I could visualize all these details in my day. Well, the same goes for business. I can visualize success with clients, the things that I'm going to ask them, the outcome that I would like to have, a positive posture when I go see a client or a prospect. I visualize my desired outcome. And then I don't think about all the how-tos, but I visualize, what does it look like when we're successful, when I'm successful with a client. I might focus in on their joy or their happiness, after they get to a certain point working with me. My intention is so clear about hitting that outcome that the mechanism will appear. It'll show up, right? When the intention is clear, the mechanism will appear. I learned that from Brian Clemmer, one of my mentors. So visualization, visualizing your day for 5 minutes and setting yourself up for success mentally and spiritually. Okay. Now we're going to go to exercise. So I get up, I do my silence, I go exercise next, and then I'll come back and I do my visualization. But now we're on exercise, and I do that for 60 minutes. I'm going to lift weights. I'm going to do cardio. I'm going to be cycling. I'm going to be doing intervals. I mix up my workouts quite often because you need resistance training in your life. It's important to build muscles because that actually helps your insulin levels and your sugar levels, and also work on your cardio. And by the way, you know how you feel when you work out. Yes. Is it hard to go work out? Yes, it is. But once you start working out, you're going to come back and you're going to be set for the day. You're going to be amped up. You're going to be excited. So when I get back from my exercising is when I hit my affirmations and my visualization. So I do it in a little bit of a different chronological order: silence, exercise, and then I'll do the visualization and the affirmations. Then I'll get ready for the day. Obviously, go take a shower, get cleaned up, put nice clothes on. Even though I work out of the home many times, I try to dress as I'm going somewhere because that puts me in the right mindset. As we've gotten so used to working at home, I think many of us have gotten lazy. And to me, wearing something that's respectful and snappy and business minded makes me elevate my consciousness to another place. So that's part of it. So I will then get ready, have a quick breakfast. As I'm eating breakfast, I will listen to a devotional. This is what I personally do. This feeds my heart. So it's a devotional where I'm reading some scripture, or maybe I'll read something about leadership. I'll listen to a podcast. This is all about filling my cup first thing in the morning. So after exercise, I'm eating a very low carb, high protein breakfast, listening to these things, feeding my soul, feeding my mind, right? And then I'm going to walk to my office, and that's where I'm going to be 20 minutes of reading something that was going to completely change my outlook on leadership, challenging myself to have better skills, to become a better realtor, to become a better husband, father, community member. Reading is essential. Leaders are readers. And if you ever want any ideas on what books to read, just send me a PM. I'll give you a list of books that I read that have helped shape me as a person. And then finally, and by the way, that's 20 minutes of reading, 20 minutes of reading. And finally, the S is scribing. Scribing is important because that tells you what you're going to do for the day. You're writing down your goals. I write them down in A's, B's, and C's. I get really specific about what I want to accomplish. The A's are I have to get them done. They're high dollar productive activities are the A's. But I'm writing down these things that I need to get done every day, and I make sure that I'm crossing everything off during the day. It's old school, but it works for me. I'm going to go part 2 in another segment and talk about what I do in the next segment of my day, which is all about lead gen. It's about time blocking and lead generation and how disciplined I've become over the years. And that's why I've always been a top producer in real estate. And also I have agents that have trusted me with their careers because I can teach them how to do this in a way that they can make profits and make money for their family and serve their families. So this segment was all about morning rhythms that will separate you from the pack. I'd love to get your feedback on this and see how we can implement something like this in your life. You know how to get a hold of me. Just PM me and we will make it happen. I'd love to have a conversation with you to see how I can support you in your career. All right, guys, savers, give it a try.